On either side of me are two of the hottest sedans in Canada. After watching this video, I want to know what you'd choose. Tom here with Go Auto, and inside the Go Garage, we have two sedans for you. The 2025 Hyundai Elantra and the Kia K4. Both vehicles share similar DNA, but take on entirely different personalities. Most notably here at the front end. The Kia K4, for example, takes on a more modern, boxy shape. The hood's more flattened with a vertical drop at the end, and I love the white on gloss black two-tone design. The headlights, though, are what really catch your eye with this vehicle. Kia has a nice amber daytime running light theme, and I think the K4 nails it. You have a great sharp line across the top and a vertical drop, giving this nice 90-degree cutoff on it, really making the vehicle look wide. Whereas the Hyundai Elantra over here, the daytime running lights are a lot more tame and simple looking. Just a nice LED through and through, and the silver trim connects them both at the top there. The hood line, though, is what I want to focus on. It's more swooped down and has more sculpted lines on it compared to the K4. And with this being the N-Line Ultimate, it definitely gets a lot more gloss black and sportier looks, but the design is still the same through and through. You got silver trim connecting the bumper, little trims down below, and the overall design with this vehicle definitely maintains that sportier look compared to the K4. But it's safety where these vehicles have very similar designs. From entry level to top of the line, they're all very similar. Lane keep, steering, distance control, traffic awareness, rear cross traffic, it's all in here to begin with. However, the K4 does get adaptive cruise control to start, whereas with the Elantra, you have to go one trim up. Now, the side profile of the vehicles definitely maintain their upfront presence. For the K4, it's a nice smooth design from front to rear, and the rear hips have a nice crease right here to give it a little more sculpted shape. The door handles are tucked away right here in this gloss black panel, really opening up the doors to be nice and smooth. You got secondary windows here to help let in more light for those rear passengers. It also makes the silhouette of the vehicle more hatchback or small crossover-like compared to traditional sedans. Whereas for accents, you got gloss black on your wheel arches and down below at the side skirts, really giving a two-tone design to this vehicle. It's the same here with the Elantra. You do get black side skirts, but they can be paint matched to match the exterior. In terms of wheel arches, they're always going to be in the exterior color for the Elantra, not like the two-tone on the K4. I think I prefer this in my opinion though. It helps separate the wheels from the body lines and design of the vehicle. And the body lines on the Elantra are much more aggressive. You got sharp creases through and through from the front to rear. It really gives the side profile a lot more character. And same with the roof line. It's a lot more profiled like a traditional sedan on this vehicle, and that's also because you don't have that secondary window here. Your door handles are traditional for the rear seats, just like the front of both vehicles. Something I haven't talked about in any review yet. These vehicles both have sunroofs, but with the Elantra, you get a smaller, more traditional sunroof, where on the K4, it's more of a panoramic roof, opening up a little bit more to let more light in. For someone like me who likes to have the sunroof open on hot summer days, I think the K4 has the edge with that. Now, the rear of these two vehicles couldn't be more different. There's only one similarity that I really picked up on. The bottom half is gloss black. Other than that, completely different. The Hyundai has a nice accent here for a full LED light bar, but it has a little hidden message. It's actually the H for Hyundai. Let me know if you saw that before I pointed it out. Right here, Elantra is stamped in the middle rather than a little logo off to the side. And with this being the N-Line Ultimate, you get dual exhaust off to the side there and this black lip spoiler to help give it a little more of that sportier edge. You do get an electronic release back here as well as the backup camera. Now, the backup camera for the Hyundai is actually on the body panel itself. I wish it was tucked away and disguised a little better. Kind of like the Kia. You have your backup camera right there, along with the lift unlock right there, and it does have a nice gloss black panel connecting it to the taillights rather than a full LED light bar. That has a really nice LED light bar, but I love the DRLs the Kia has here. Helps combine the back to the front, which is really nice. And for actual trunk space, I gotta be honest, I didn't notice much of a difference. They're pretty spacious. You can definitely fit golf clubs and small strollers in here effortlessly. The only real difference is the actual way it opens. The Elantra has a little more curve to it and it has more character for a trunk opening, but the big thing is that the Kia has a full spare tire, whereas the Elantra only has a can of sealant and air compressor. The Kia K4 offers a lot of space here in the rear seats. I have pretty good headroom. If I have longer hair and spiked it up, it might be making contact, but legroom and knee room's definitely ample. I got a fist and a thumb for the driving position in my seating posture, and these seats are really comfortable. They have a nice little bolstering, almost like a swell to them, so even as a full-size adult, you can comfortably sit back here without any issues. And for amenities, you can drop down this middle, which has a nice leather and contrast stitching strap to give you cup holders and a nice captain chair seating position. You also got heated seats back here, 2 USB ports with a little cubby perfect for placing your phone while on charge, and there's enough airflow from these vents to keep you nice and cool on hot summer days. Now here in the Elantra, the first thing that caught my eye is that there's no air vents back here, but I'm more of a windows down person, so that doesn't really affect me. You do got 2 USB-C ports back here, and this armrest does drop down to give you your cup holders for that nice captain chair position. And in terms of space, same amount of leg room. Knee room is actually maybe a little bit more spacious back here, but it could just be one adjustment further up for all I know. Up here, headroom's pretty much the exact same as well, and the seats are a little bit more stiff in this vehicle, which I personally prefer, but it could also be because this is the N line, the sportier model. The other top trim, the luxury, might have a little more softer interior. Now, the interiors couldn't be more different in these vehicles for front cabins. For starters, the overall design is quite similar, but they do little things differently. And to prove that, you have your infotainment and driver's display connected with this vehicle, same as the Elantra. However, this one has that floating design where the Elantra has a cover up here to help reduce reflections and glares on the highway. This driver's display, though, is pretty cool. Both vehicles use very similar software, but they're both very easy to go through and not hard on the eyes at all. The buttons on the left here allow you to control the middle, and you can scroll through with the OK button on the left. You can also change the themes of it. Right now it's in simple and style A, where if I change it to circle, it brings more of your traditional selectors there, and you can change from styles A, B, and C, all giving you different views to look at and helps make it a lot more personalized for other vehicles. The Elantra does the same thing, but with different graphics, which we'll show in a minute. The steering wheel, however, has to be my favorite with this vehicle. I love the shape of it. It's almost got a little flat bottom top to it, and it has a nice two-tone with contrast stitching, something you usually only see in luxury vehicles. The left side has your safety features and the media controls for the driver's display, whereas the right side here controls your infotainment and Bluetooth features. Another nice touch is down below at the bottom here is where you have your drive mode selector for normal and sport, whereas on the Elantra, it's on the left side right here. And that drive mode selector can be seen right here. When you put it into sport mode, you see the gauges change, put it into smart, which is more like an eco mode, and then back to normal. What I really like with that is because if you're ever driving down a road and then you suddenly approach Grote Road, for example, push that button into sport, now you can have a little more fun with it. And these themes aren't the only ones that you get with this gauge cluster. There's also one called Cube. When you push that, the dials become this futuristic cube shape and really make it a different futuristic look that no other infotainment has for the driver's display, which is really nice. And the Elantra also gets 2 different steering wheels. This one here is the N line, so it gets the cooler, more aggressive looking one with nice golf pattern texture, paddle shifters that feel a little clickier, and the buttons themselves are nicely contoured and all one color. But the other steering wheel that the Hyundai Elantra offers is actually a really nice 4-spoke design. You got buttons on top that are in gloss black, and the buttons below are in this nice silver-like finish. I really like it. It's really upscales the interior of the vehicle, and between the 3, it's probably my favorite. Same with the infotainment system. This vehicle's fantastic. It's not only responsive, but it's also really fast and sensitive to the touch, making it super easy to jump into map, change anything you need, go into navigation, media, it's all right there for you. I really like how easy it is to use, which is a nice touch. It's also got this nice dark mode with the blue accents, which is a little different from the Kia. And below that, you got your engine start stop button on the left with all your media and infotainment shortcuts below that, including your volume dial. And below that is your climate control buttons. And I love that Hyundai has it all here in one place because it makes it so much easier to make adjustments on the go. Turn the dial, temperature up, fan speed up, heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's all right there for you, easy to access without needing to second guess what you did. And below that, you get a wireless charger with a nice rubber texture to keep it in place, USB-C and A port, as well as a 12-volt socket. And this middle section here is really nice because you got your gear selector here. Next to that is your backup camera button, electronic parking brake, as well as auto hold. Right below it is your 2 large cup holders. And what I mean by large is you can easily fit a Stanley in here or any kind of large thermos to go without any issues of it spilling or toppling over. That's one thing to think about because right around it is a gloss black panel, so you might get a couple fingerprints on it. Just make sure you keep microfibers down there. And to help with this fighter jet feeling this interior has is this accent piece here, because it helps you feel more enclosed to the driver's seat, and it also gives this nice accent to be almost like a grab handle for the passenger, although it's not really meant for that. That's something more like the Corvette, and if you haven't seen our video on that, make sure you check it out as well. Now the Kia K4 doesn't get that grab handle aesthetic thing here, which really opens up the center console area for access to the passenger, which I really like. You get easier access to the wireless charger here and the USB-C ports because of that. And this center console is pretty nice too, because it has the Kia cup holders. 2 push triggers to bring out the cup holders so it hugs your drink in nicely. And I realized I really like why they did this, because when you have them closed off, it makes more of a squared off area, perfect for placing keys in a wallet rather than just in a cup holder. It puts them away, making it easier to store things or even a small purse. Your gear selector, auto hold, and backup cameras are all nicely in the middle here, similar to the Elantra, but now with Kia's design language. And there's also no gloss black here compared to that vehicle. Engine start stops just in front of the gear lever rather than being up here on the dashboard. And here's the big difference between these vehicles. You do have your climate control temperatures right here, as well as fan speed and the direction of airflow, but there's no display screen here. That's because it's actually tucked away up top here. And it's really interesting laid out because you do have quick, easy access to the controls here, and they're nice toggles, so it's really easy to use. However, these little adjustments here where you can change your direction of airflow, change the fan speed, front defrost, rear defrost, it's all right there for you. However, I find for the driver with my seating position and with where the steering wheel is, it kind of blocks where it is. And that's kind of interesting because if I want to have my feet blowing with air and not my face, I can't really see. I have to kind of navigate around it to know if I'm actually in that direction. Interesting design choice that looks really, really nice, but I find my seating position doesn't really allow for it. I wish there was a little screen right here in the middle. On top of that as well is this infotainment system. Now this infotainment system is actually 2 inches larger than the Hyundai Elantras and doesn't really look that much bigger because the Elantra has more gloss black around it, making it look a little larger than it actually is. But once you start using it, you realize how much that comes into play. The infotainment system is the same system in terms of speed and design. It's very responsive and easy to use, and also comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, a huge must in a vehicle for 2025. The 2025 Kia K4 and the Hyundai Elantra are both quite similar. It comes down to preference. Do you prefer the futuristic, polished look of the Kia K4 or the sporty vibe of the Hyundai Elantra? Well, check them out for yourself and let us know in the comments. You can do so by visiting goauto.ca or any of their Hyundai and Kia dealerships.